The main A2 road into Dover, the queue was continuous. The UK government estimated some 1,500 lorries had been stranded, but a drive around the approach roads to the port revealed many, many more than that, parked up and waiting for news. News eventually came that the blockade would be lifted, but only for those with proof of a negative COVID test. And that is no use at all to the thousands of drivers whose hopes of reaching home for Christmas are now gone. If COVID testing is to be the precondition for reopening the border with France, that presents an enormous logistical challenge for the UK authorities. There are now thousands of truck and van drivers parked up in laybys all across the county of Kent. And getting the testing to them or them to the testing is going to be an enormous task. And all this just days before Christmas.
The bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. Thank you very much.
A damning report detailing war crimes over a 6-year period. The UN investigation begins in 2012, the year Mali spiralled out of control. A separatist Tuareg insurgency overtaken by jihadists, and then a military coup. In the violence that has shaped Mali since then, the United Nations says all sides are complicit, and it is overwhelmingly civilians who've been caught in the crossfire. Thousands have died, and hundreds of thousands have fled their homes. In total, the investigators detail 140 incidents of violence, including the execution of 16 unarmed men during the night of September the 8th, 2012, by Malian soldiers from the Diabali camp. That's just one example of the many killings of Tuaregs and Arabs at the hands of Mali's armed forces, according to the report.
Russian opposition politician Alexei Navalny survived an assassination attempt in the summer after being poisoned with the nerve agent Novichok. He, as well as most Western nations, had blamed the Russian security forces. With the help of the Bellingcat investigative website, who had identified some of the team which had been trailing Navalny, he called them up. He pretended to be a senior security official investigating the poisoning operation, and he got a full confession. Here's an excerpt from the phone call.
Okay, then tell me what kind of clothes it was applied on. What was the main focus? What's the riskiest piece of clothing, in theory?
Well, underpants.
Underpants.
Mutant coronavirus strain continues to spread across the world. Belgium has become the latest country to detect this new variant. 4 cases of the mutant coronavirus have been detected in the country's Flemish regions, which border with the Netherlands. Authorities have warned that there could be more such cases. Earlier, Italy, Iceland, Denmark, the Netherlands and Australia reported cases of the mutant coronavirus. With a transmission rate of 70%, the virus strain discovered in the UK spreads much faster than other COVID variants. However, there is no evidence yet to suggest that it is more lethal than the existing strains. Meanwhile, Japan and South Korea have the list of countries to temporarily suspend flights from the UK until the end of December over fears of the new COVID strain. Japan will ban the entry of non-Japanese from the United Kingdom from Thursday onwards.
A fall from grace just days before leaving office. Mayor of Rio de Janeiro, Marcelo Crivella, was arrested at his home in the early hours of Tuesday and held in custody as part of a corruption investigation. The 63-year-old, an ally of President Jair Bolsonaro, claimed to be a victim of political persecution.
Então por que isso está acontecendo? O senhor imputa isso aqui?
É perseguição política. Lembrem que eu lutei contra todas as empreiteiras, lutei contra o pedágio ilegal, injusto, tirei recursos do carnaval, renegociei o VLT. Fui o governo que mais atuou contra a corrupção no Rio de Janeiro.
The judge leading the investigation called Crivella the head of a criminal organisation installed within the Rio mayor's office with the aim of obtaining illicit profits. Authorities believe companies wanting to secure contracts were being told to pay off officials.
North Gauteng High Court has ruled that beaches must remain closed. This is the second ruling cementing government's decision to have some beaches shut down from the 16th of December until the 3rd of January. AfriForum's legal team say they are disappointed with the judgment. Yesterday, the Western Cape High Court ruled against the DA's case to reopen beaches. The party's leader, John Steenhuisen, says he's proud the DA fought for the people of the Garden Route whose businesses face ruin.
At this point, we'll leave it where it is. There's no point, logistically speaking, to appeal this case, considering the fact that the closure of beaches only stretches until just after New Year. So I think we echo the same as what John Steenhuisen said. AfriForum is quite proud that we've maintained our record for fighting for South African civil rights during the lockdown period, and we rest with what the court held today in its finding.
This was the moment when the Speaker of Israel's parliament, the Knesset, announced that last-ditch efforts to pass the budget had failed. There was no way forward for the fragile ruling alliance.
Unfortunately, we were unable to find enough common ground to prevent another round of elections and enable the 23rd Knesset and its members to exercise the mandate given to us. We are all going to face a difficult election campaign, and I call on each and every one of us and on each and every Israeli citizen to refrain from exacerbating tensions.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's popularity has sank over the government's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. He's also facing a corruption case, which fueled divisions with Netanyahu's coalition partner, as well as within his own Likud party. A faction recently broke away.